But it's like it's a little bit off topic this, but it's an example of what we're trying to talk about. Is that Olivia Rodrigo recently had #1 song in the world with Driver's License, and it's done like it was like the quickest song to ever hit 600 million streams or whatever by a female or something like that. I can't remember. And it was all over Twitter about the monthly listeners on Spotify. So she had like 40 million monthly listeners because she's got the #1 song in the world. Everyone's listening to it. And then I think it was Oasis or someone like that. I can't remember who it was, or Arctic Monkeys or something. Had like 10 mil monthly listeners, and people were like, how's this person who no one knows has got 40 million monthly listeners? It's like, because music's moved on now, you know, they were releasing music when Spotify wasn't even a thing. So since it's been on Spotify, it's not going to have like the same amount of listeners as what it did when it was only on CD. And this girl's literally just blowing up, got the #1 song in the world. Her second song's literally charted. Like, people are going to be listening to it because that's what music is nowadays. People like that sort of music, and people just can't accept that.
No, they can't. And you got to remember, like, and then people see that and they go like, oh, Oasis are finished. Why is no one listening to them? And it's like, oh, you're such an idiot, man. Like, that's, of course people are still going to be listening to them. Of course they're still massive. People are going to be listening to them, like you said, on CD and stuff. It's going to be the older generation that are listening because that was their style that they grew up with. A lot of them won't even have Spotify. A lot of them won't be into that sort of like streaming music and sort of stuff. Like, I know, for example, like my dad, he loves music. He loves like classic rock, things like that. But I don't even think he's got Spotify. He's just got like a massive collection of CDs all the way through his years that then he's put on like on his like phone, obviously through iTunes and all that sort of stuff. And that's what he listens to, and that's how he listens to his music. And it's like, well, yeah, fair enough. And that's just how a lot of people do listen to their music still. It's not everyone's on there. A lot of people on there are going to be the younger generation, and they're not going to be listening to old music, are they? And it's not a crime that they've got more monthly listeners or whatever. It doesn't mean they're better. Like, that's the other thing as well. It doesn't mean that they're better, does it? It just means that that's what people are listening to at the time. And that's the sort of things that frustrates me. It sort of links to what we were talking about at the start. It's like, oh, they get more views, they get more listens, they get more this, so they're better. And it's like, no, like, it doesn't mean you have to like it because of that. It doesn't mean that they're the best because of that. It's just simply what people are listening to. It's just simply what people are watching, because at the time, it's the song that people are enjoying. And as you said, it always moves forward. Like, that song's #1 for however long or whatever, it's going to get knocked off. And then everyone won't be listening to that anymore, and they'll be listening to something else. People just need to stop being so, like, tribal about it and being like, this is my music, this is the best. It's like, whatever, mate. If you like that song, download it and play it on repeat for the next 5 years. It's not going anywhere, but just accept that people move on.
Well, I used to think the same with 6ix9ine, really, because when he came out of prison and Gooba came out, and it was like, it was a banger, let's be honest. It's done like 300 million. I'm sure the YouTube video's done like double that, because it's, you know, it's got some girls with their fucking arse out or whatever, but everyone will sit there and go, oh, this is terrible music, this is rubbish, blah, blah, blah. But I bet you the same people who are saying that have been the ones playing it and watching the video, because 6ix9ine just brings that audience. Like, his latest song was terrible, but the video got loads of traction because he was calling Meek Mill a pussy in it, and it was just funny. Like, people just, things blow up because it's funny, or because it's good, or because it just goes viral because it goes viral. It's just the way the world is.
Yeah, like things can blow up for a load of different reasons. It doesn't just blow up because it's good. And like, that's the thing. Like, people can pull up the argument of like, what, you're saying 6ix9ine's fell off? Look how many views his last video's got. And it's like, yeah, but in my opinion, his music is shit. So yes, he has fallen off. Like, I'm not saying that he's irrelevant, because he never will be, especially with his his Mexican sort of audience, well, his Spanish audience. He's got a massive audience of that kind, and they're really behind him, because let's be honest, they don't have any other artists of that style, or at least not as many, that's for sure. So they're always going to be behind him. They're obviously very tribal because they're proud that he's from that origin as well. And it's like, yeah, fair play, you listen to that. He does his Spanish songs, they bang over there, they love him, cool, whatever. Not saying he's irrelevant, I'm just saying he's fell off in terms of like, he's just not, he doesn't have the pull, at least over here or in certain parts of America, that he used to. But also, I don't just mean his numbers, I just mean his music's just crap now. And that's why it's like, for me personally, Like, I'm done with that now. But that doesn't mean that he's like gone. It's just, for my personal opinion, I'm done with 6ix9ine music, and I've moved on, and I'm not interested anymore. Don't care about what he's doing, and his next release, like, don't care. It's just not going to be very good because his music's just not good anymore, and that's my opinion.
Well, you can't say that. That's so horrible. Yeah. It's like, I don't know whether we should touch on this quickly, is the whole, like, cancel culture shit. Like, yeah. I don't know if you've seen recently with the James Charles thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, his fans are like the cancel culture people who will still try and cancel other people but will support him even though the geezer's a fucking nonce. Like,
yeah.
It's the same with music, and it's the same with anything in life. It's like, people do things to suit an agenda. Like, if you don't like, I don't know, let's just take Nicki Minaj. It's the first person I can think of off the top of your head. If you don't like her music, fine, but because you don't like her, if she does something, it's going to be like, oh, you're a twat, blah blah blah. If it's someone that you love, like, I don't know, fucking Tupac, and he did something, or something surface from when he was alive, just because you like him, you're going to support him. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's the same with X and the whole woman beating thing. People do things to suit their own agendas these days, and it's like, people just do things for clout, and it's just a bit depressing, but that'll never be me.
They do it for... No, and it's what I was saying is, like, it's the tribalism, isn't it? Like, people get so invested in these people, and that's why they do so well now, because it's not about so much what the product is. It's not whether, like, the music's really good. It's not whether, like, the videos are really good. It's whether they like the person, and you can become massive. Like, this channel could get massive if everyone all of a sudden decided, oh, that Joe Glacier guy, I absolutely love him. And then this channel would bang, because... Exactly. Whereas we're trying to go down the angle of not bothering with that side. Like, hopefully that'll come with time or whatever. Hopefully we'll get like appreciation from people or whatever. And I like that. But mainly we just want to make good content. Whereas other people, it's not about that. It's just about getting them to like me. And I can understand why they do it. And I can understand why it's the game. Because those people that do get all that sort of attention and all that sort of love, it's so powerful, because like you're saying with the James Charles thing, them sort of fans are the ones that are always trying to cancel people. I know, like, a few weeks ago they were jumping on KSI trying to take him down for some bullshit, whereas like when James Charles actually does something that is horrendous and like literally should get locked up for, why is he not? It's just all of a sudden it's like, oh, just defend him. It's like, well, you're not doing anything because of the right or wrong, you're just supporting your team, sort of thing. It's like football.
Yeah, I mean, it's just life nowadays, isn't it? Like, you can never force someone to like you as much as you're a nice person. Some people are just not meant for some people. It doesn't matter how nice you are or how much you try and make someone like you. You can never change that. It's just the way it is, and people have to accept that.
Yeah, they do, and that's just the way of the world now. It's all about it's like supporting a football team when you like someone, whereas sometimes it just doesn't need to be. Like, if you don't like their music, you don't like their music. Like, it is, at the end of the day, that's all it is. Like, and you can have an artist that's one of your favourite artists, you can have an artist that you love the majority of their tracks, and then just because they release one that you don't really like doesn't mean, oh, I don't like them anymore, I'm not sure I like that, oh, they're rubbish, I'm going to go and start liking these. It's like, you can still like them, mate, just you don't like that one song, and that's just, again, that's the sort of mentality of people now, and that's why it's so tricky for people, because it's like 1 minute you're at the top and everyone absolutely adores you, the next minute everyone just dishes you away because you released one bad song or you did one controversial thing, and it's like, it's stupid. There's no sort of like realism in any of this. It's all just very tribal, as I said, and trivial. People just jump between everything, and it's frustrating, but at the end of the day, as long as you watching this right now and me and Joe are real about the things we like, but ultimately, right, if you want to be like that and you want to jump between everything, fine, but as long as you're happy, like, as long as you're enjoying things. But majority of the people that I like that aren't happy, are they? That's the point. I think the majority of people like that, it makes them live a crap life because they're too stressed about what everyone else is doing, and it's like, well, just do what you enjoy at the end of the day, listen to what you want to listen to, watch what you want to watch, end of.
Yeah, just do you. And that's it. Do what makes you happy.
Exactly, and that is a lovely way to end this. That's the message of this podcast. We've spoke about TJ, we've spoke about all these artists, but take away from this, one, go and stream his new album because he deserves it, and two, take away the fact that, you know, let's not hate, let's be chill, because there's so much going on at the moment. And rest in peace Claude as well, mate, because that sums up everything we've been talking about, doesn't it?
100%. 100%.
Yeah. So, see you soon. Bye bye.